Hi everyone, it's Marco Zannini, and I am the worldwide business developer of 101CAFFE, and I'm here to show you our franchise, our company. So who we are and what we do. Well, basically we are the only one franchise on artisanal Italian coffee, and we created something unique. We created we invented the concept store of high quality coffee in all its forms. It means that we selected Italian coffee and we moved this coffee from beans to any kind of support, so to any kind of capsule in the market, to any kind of pod, and also, of course, in ground. At present, we are working with 12 different capsules and 2 different pods, with beans, with ground, with soluble. And we work with regional coffee. So when we selected our coffee, we turned around Italy to visit regions and to discover local traditions. So we selected coffee coming from several regions of Italy, and well, we represent in each blend a different tradition. I told you that we are franchisor because we invented our concept. Of course, in franchising, there are two main subjects: franchisor and franchisee. Franchisee is the one would like to open one unit or more unit, and master franchisee is a guy that go to duplicate our business model in another one territory, working as the local representative of 101CAFFE. So he is the dealer with local partners. So he also has his franchises in local territory. When we discuss about franchisee, we can identify three different typology, three different kinds of franchisee. Our first one is the guy would like to open for self-employment. So I would like to reposition myself. I would like to renew my life, to change my job, or I lost my job. So I open my unit and I work inside. Otherwise, I could be a multi-unit franchisee. So I am a guy who would like to open many different commercial activities, maybe more with just one brand, or maybe more with different brands. Finally, there is a third kind of franchisee. This is the master franchisee or the business developer. So this guy would like to duplicate the model, expanding, spreading the franchise in a full territory as exclusive dealer. Here you can see where 101CAFFE is located, of course, in Italy, where we have our headquarters because the company is Italian. And worldwide, we already opened 7 units, 2 in Morocco, 2 in Singapore, 1 in Kuwait, in Armenia, and the first one, the first of all in Switzerland. While by the end of 2020, we will run the business in Qatar, in Bulgaria, in Austria, hopefully in France. This is also due to COVID because we already had an opening date for the end of August in Paris. We will run our first unit in Saudi Arabia, in Maldives, in Czech Republic, while we have partners in Ile de la Réunion and French Guiana that are developing the brand, moving at first from online. Coffee market is a segment very strong. So in the history, every time you know that we had many economic crises in the world. Every time we had an economic crisis, coffee never suffered about it, because coffee is well, it's something that you drink every day. It's something you use every day. It's an habit, is a tradition, is something, well, felt as necessary. It's the second business in the world after petrol. Here a short resume about our company. We have 120 units in Italy and worldwide, and we tested procedures because we can use and adapt our procedures everywhere we go to open. And single portion coffee and drinks is a market growing constantly. And as I told you, even if there is a crisis, even if there is an emergency, as the pandemic of COVID-19. So shortly, what are the main points of this webinar? The first one is the concept of franchise. What is franchising? The second one is why you would like to run, why you could run an opening with 101CAFFE. So with the store 101CAFFE or a coffee shop through a model, a business model in franchising. The third one is how we manage and how we are managing COVID-19 effects. What are concrete advantages in opening an activity through a franchising or a traditional business, traditional physical retail? And finally, what is the profile of franchisor you could look for, and what is the profile of franchisee we are looking for? Well, what it means franchising. I will go very quickly because this is just one concept. In a franchising business model, there are two entrepreneurs. So this is the main point. An activity open in franchising or not is in any case an entrepreneurial activity. So there are two entrepreneurs. The first one is the franchisor. The second one is the franchisee. The franchisor is the one invented something. So is the one creating a product, a concept store, and most of all, a know-how. So what is basic, what is the milestone of a franchise business model is the know-how, because otherwise you are in another kind of relationship, in another kind of partnership. You are in affiliation, in concession, in license, but not in franchise. The franchisee is the entrepreneur getting this know-how because he joined the franchise. So there are four basic components: brand, range, know-how, and assistance. These are all components you include to create a franchise. Why would I run a store or coffee shop with 101CAFFE? Oh, well, because I told you that our segment is very strong. The trend is growing, but it doesn't mean that it's easy to enter in our market, and it's not easy to work in our market. By a business model in franchising, you can reduce the risk to face big mistakes due to inexperience, and you can reduce costs for running your unit. Well, just a short example. You don't need to think about, well, I would like to open something with coffee. What will be my signage? What will be my name? What will be my identity? What are products I choose to fill inside? Is this position good or not? Is this location good or not? Is it too much expensive? Is it too much cheap? And here you can see what are our strength points. Our strength points are made in Italy products, a wide range, a warm, welcoming. Our activity is multi-channel, and we have several business formula to adapt the business locally. Now I'll explain all of these points one by one. Later, I suggest you to check the video that you can find here. This is the video we created to thank our customers, because our customers voted us as the best signage in coffee retail in Italy for 2019-2020. And we won against the other finalist, and the other finalist was Nespresso. So here you can see some awards we got. Insegna dell'anno is the one I told you right now, Retailer of the Year. But also product, Prodotto del Cuore, Product of My Heart, Product of the Year, 2019-2020 for Napoletano, but also 2018-2019 for Noccioli. We also have another award we won for international presence, because we are developing our brand very well, and we are you can come back to the map of the world. We are well based all over the world, if you consider that we started just 3 years ago our development outside Italy. Here you can see some of our products, so you can feel what is our packaging, what are the emotions we would like to transmit to our customers, and what is our brand identity. As I told you, made in Italy. Everything is made in Italy. And the range consists of 1,600 different SKU. You can't imagine what it means in our segment. No one has a similar range. You can consider that Nespresso is working with 22 SKU in classic, and with 24 SKU in Vertuo. Well, in our range we include coffee, gourmet coffee, other hot drinks, including chocolate, milk, other drinks no caffeine, or also sugar-free, or also gluten-free, or also vegan okay. We also have organic products, and so on. We sell coffee makers, accessories, everything is connected with a full coffee experience. All of these products branded 101CAFFE have an average margin up to 50%. This is true all over the world. Since now, in any country we opened, we got this result. And again, I enforce what I told you before, that our mood is made in Italy as our products. Here you can see, just in a screenshot, example of our range, and also the support we are using from Espresso, Dolce Gusto, Lavazza, also Curry K-Cup for US, but also Cibo Caffissimo, but also S-Caffè, but also Easy Serving System, Easy Serving Espresso, ESE 44, the paper pod, and so on. And here you can see our coffee makers, because we have the production in our hands. We also have the after sales. We know perfectly the makers and how to manage any kind of complaint, and also the reason of complaints. We also have another one brand owned by 101CAFFE. This is called Le Sfiziosità, and this is a brand of dry pastry, of course Italian. And here you can see a short view of our range for coffee shop. So everything we can provide for breakfast, coffee break, soft lunch, full lunch, and also the ice cream for the afternoon. So here you can include any kind of drink for the morning, but also pasta, pizza, meat, fish for the lunch, and finally again ice cream for the afternoon. Well, I also introduced with last slides the question of warm welcoming, because we Our target is to involve all of senses of our customers. So you saw packaging, you also saw something about taste, and we let taste products through our degustation area. You also saw something about our work colors to invite people enter inside our units. Coffee aroma, of course, for your nose, but also Italian music for your ears. We have our web radio where we transmit Italian music every day, and the song you can listen in Italy is the same one you can listen in each other country at the same time. And of course, lights. Lights are a part to highlight warm colors and invite people inside. Well, we discussed a little bit about multi-channel. Multi-channel is a concept a little bit abused, but we really do it because we have our retail, but we also have our e-commerce, and these one are connected together because your customer that comes in your store is the same one that could place an order online tomorrow because he has no time to come back again to your store. But we chose to consider the customer as the same one. So if the customer comes to you to buy something, he is your customer and you get your margin, you get your profit. If the customer comes back to you but buy online, so he places an order, he is again your customer, and this is your margin and your profit. And in multi-channel activity, it's necessary also to consider mobile. Mobile is a trend very strong all over the world because it's very easy, it's very smart to place an order by an app. So we created an app. And the app is local. So while the e-commerce is usually connected with central logistics, the app is connected with the local store. So your final customer can identify the closest store he has. So, well, he is 10 kilometers far from you. He immediately can get in app 101CAFFE that you are the closest unit to him. And he can also see your promotion, you can also see your stock, and he can come directly to you. Well, here I spend something more about our business models because we were born as retailers. So we were born with the concept with the concept of store. So we started selling coffee to final people, to final customers. You come inside, you can taste something, and you buy for your home use. For your home use, for your office, for everywhere you would like to take your coffee, but in private use. Later, we created the second one. We created the second one because people told us, but your coffee is amazing. I would like to have your coffee, but in a context, in a context of coffee shop. So we created coffee shop plus market. Here we describe as cafe plus market, gourmet italiano. Because our identity is coffee, our identity is retail, so market, and gourmet italiano is the plus we bring to this kind of concept. So here you can taste a full menu from the morning to the evening with something Italian. Later we thought again about ourselves, and we decided to create a third one. This matches very well with the situation after COVID. This is store plus takeaway coffee, but we created it before COVID. Because we saw that, okay, our final customer is used to come in a 101CAFFE store to buy coffee, but maybe he would like also to drink something. He would like also to have breakfast, but very quick, because he has no time to sit down. He has no space to sit down. So this is a cheaper solution for our franchisees and a quick solution for our customers. I can come to you, take something, not refrigerated. So you don't need to have refrigerator. You don't need to have a big stock. You don't need to have a difficult transport. You can manage everything dry as in a store, but you can also provide something for takeaway. And finally, we created also truck. Our coffee truck is a sort of coffee shop on the road. And here the idea was very good, because we use the same technology of Cafe Plus Market, and but we use it on the road. So here we don't sell products, but we do service. At first, the idea was to support in promotion our units by our coffee truck, but this is so good that people asked us to have a coffee truck as a business model to duplicate it. Here you can see, well, a landscape of 101CAFFE pictures, from stores to coffee shop to coffee truck. Here something only on stores and layout of one store, just to show you better what is the kind of project. Here you can see store plus takeaway, but you can see two different layouts. This first one is more focused on selling with a smaller counter, while the second one is more focused on the counter with a smaller store. You can have both of them, because this is what I told when I introduced our franchise. We adapt our concept, country-based and location-based. Here you are, coffee shop. Coffee shop, of course, works in a bigger surface with a full service. And finally, coffee truck with Gourmet Italiano payoff. Well, oh yes, coffee truck has the same payoff of coffee shop, Gourmet Italiano. What about COVID-19? I know that in UK, COVID-19 well, came after Italy, so we have more or less 2 weeks. We finished 2 weeks before UK, and we got a little bit more experience about what happened after COVID. So, for example, and also during COVID. So, for example, we saw that our business changed a little bit. Our stores worked more with food delivery and with takeaway. So we had very, very positive results from our stores that were opened during lockdown, because we sell food, so it was allowed to be open. And our stores didn't wait for customers. Our franchisee didn't wait for customers inside the store as before COVID. They went to the customers. They visited their home, they visited their house, they met them in another place, more comfortable for customers. So they created a very good relationship. They had more time to discuss with them. They were also invited to stay home to drink a coffee together with their customers. So what we saw is that our business can be strong even if there is a pandemic, even if there is something very, very hard to manage in business and also in relationship. By our side, as mother company, we improved our e-commerce And we improved the after-sale assistance with a direct connection with final customers by a dedicated WhatsApp number. And we supported our stores in procedures because this was the most important thing during COVID. To be sure that no one customer can have problems in health in our stores, and no one franchisee can have problems in health in our stores. So we followed completely the updates in regulations, and we provided all of information to our units to be aligned with regulations and to be secured with customers. And now after COVID, what I can tell you is that we are not, well, of course, situation is not easy, even if it's getting better. But in our segment, we didn't suffer so much as in others because we met new customers, we had opportunities, and now people maybe are afraid to go in big supermarkets, and they would like to take more time to take care about themselves and to take care about what they drink and what they eat. Furthermore, we are in Italy, and well, we told people eat Italian because we have quality, we have origin, and we have everything is secured. Here you can see some pictures of people working in sanitary. Well, we gave them some gift as franchisor, but we also discovered that our franchisees gave people a lot of gifts with no information by our side, because we never asked them to provide gift to hospitals, but they did it by themselves. Thanks a lot to all of guys in worked for us in sanitary. Thanks a lot all over the world to guys that worked in sanitary, and to guys that are working in sanitary. I know that in my guests there are also people coming from India. I know that COVID-19 is absolutely not finished there. So thanks your people working for you. What are concrete advantages in opening an activity through a franchising business compared to traditional retail? Well, I think that you can understand something directly by your own. Anyway, every time you would like to run something, you need to decide what you would like to run, where you would like to run. And here we discuss about supporting defining the location. Otherwise, you have to choose the location by yourself. And you need to know how to sell what you decided to sell. And this is training and support, pre-opening and continuous. As I told you, know-how is the key of franchising. Know-how in defining the location, know-how in training and support, know-how in assistance. You have a problems with your software. You have a problems with your stock management. You have a problem in understanding your results. So in business analysis, you have a problem about realizing a campaign and advertising. You have a problem about well, what I order, when I order, how much, what is the quantity I need to order. And again, when you run a business, you have no exclusivity if you run the business by yourself. While in franchising, you have an exclusive area where you are the only one selling 101CAFFE products. So no one supermarket, no one other store is selling 101CAFFE in the same area you are working with. And finally, you have assistance to install, shop fit, prepare the communication for your unit. Okay, here we discuss about something maybe more concrete. I understand that a lot of people don't consider so much these following slides. So, what are bases of franchising? What is the profile of franchisor you need to look for? And what is the profile of franchisee we are looking for? Franchise is basically a relationship between two entrepreneurs, as I described at the beginning, with the sharing of know-how, with the sharing of risks, with a common target, because we would like you get profit, and you would like to get profit. So this is absolutely a common target. In exclusivity, because you work in an exclusivity area, training program because we provide training to you. We provide training to you because we experienced our know-how. So we know how to sell, we know how to get results with our model. So we provide training to you because we feel that if you follow our know-how, you will get results. This is the sense of sharing the know-how. You have a duration. The duration is underestimated by people, but this is very important. Because when I tell you, okay, you are my exclusive dealer for this area, and I tell you that you are my exclusive dealer for 5 years, now you are investing money in entry fee, in royalties, in shop fitting, in everything. You are investing money, but you have the time to get it back. Because otherwise, I tell you, okay, you are my exclusive dealer, you invest money, you have no duration. Well, in theory, it could mean that 1 year later, I can give the exclusivity to another one. So duration is very important for you because this is a warranty. What you can find in slides. Oh, the entry fee is the quote you pay to join the franchise, and this is the quote you pay for getting our know-how and for everything is connected with sharing our know-how to you. Because of course we have adaptation. We have a lot of materials we created and we continuously create in other languages, sharing to you. Royalties are for continuous support because you need continuous support. Even if you are a very good franchisee, maybe next month you will need a campaign, so you will need our graphic department to provide something to you. Maybe you will need a new product, so you will ask to our purchasing department, you will ask to our marketing to create something new. Maybe you will need to understand why you are getting a good result, but not so good as you expected, or you are getting a bad results. So you would like to improve it. So royalties are for continuous support because when we start to work together by a franchise agreement, we start working together. We don't finish. This is the beginning of our relationship and not the end. Transparency is transparency for full information about the franchise. Maybe you will experience or you already experienced that you can ask everything to me. I have no secrets because otherwise, if I have secrets, I pay for my secrets in the future. I need you have full information before running the business because you need to become a partner and not a customer. You are not a customer and we are not a supplier. We are in relationship, win-win. So what is the profile of franchisor you are looking for? You need to understand it. And what are the features you look for in a franchisor? This is connected with your attitude, how we owned by the franchisor structure, because you need to be sure that your franchisor is well structured in logistics, in marketing, in training, in informations, in your language. Because otherwise I can tell you everything I would like to tell you, but later you come here in our headquarters and you don't find logistics. Well, here is not a problem. We have 2,500 square meters of logistics. Anyway, if you don't check by yourself, well, I can tell you everything I would like to tell you. You need to test it. You need to check what is the structure of your franchisor. What are your obligations? What is your relationship? Because you need to establish a relationship. What is our financial situation? So if we are able to support you in the business, if we join the franchise associations, because this is a trust, and if we have experience in different countries, because more experience is something worthy also for you. While this is what we look for. If you work with a model of self-employment in your unit, so you are facing your customer, you need to be empathic. If you are inside your unit, or not inside your unit, but you have a team, because you also have employees and salaries, you need to have leadership and team building. Attitude in listening to colleagues, customers, and franchisors. Later, you can also take your decision different from what I tell you, from what your colleagues tell you, and from what your customers tell you. But you need at least to consider what they tell you. You need to have absolutely an entrepreneurial attitude, because this is a company. What you create to join a franchising is a company. This is not a business for private people, but for companies. And furthermore, you need to match your financial situation with your target. It doesn't make sense you would like to run a business costing you 2,100 euro if you have 200 euro. It doesn't make sense. You need to compare and to match what you can do with what you, well, with what you have. And finally, these are the steps necessary to open your 101 Cafe. And here you can also find something we discussed in latest 2 slides. You need to profile yourself and ask yourself what I would like to do. What is my market, my segment, my passion? Am I an investor, or am I looking opportunities for self-employment? Why do I choose an Italian brand? So at first you need to analyze yourself. Later you decided 101 Cafe could be good for you. So you come back to us and you ask information about capital to invest, kind and cost of allocation, average margin, average turnover, what you are going to do in store. So are you manager? Are you employee? Because are you in self-employment? Are you not in your unit, but completely outside? And so on. Here, it could be very clever to get more information also by a meeting in headquarters, also by a meeting in stores, or also checking videos, pictures, and all of information you could need. And of course, you can ask to me. Now you finished first 2 points. You analyzed yourself and you analyzed our business. So you got your decision. This is interesting for me. This is not. This is interesting. I've seen the preliminary agreement. So I am franchisee of 101 Cafe, even if I don't have my unit yet. But I have my exclusive area. And now I can start in select in looking for my unit, in looking for my location. So here we start with the selection and approval of location, where you will run your 101 Cafe. Now we define the location. So we start with project and shop fitting plan. And of course, with the profit and loss focused on the specific location we define together. Finally, of course, we have training program and all of operations since you get the opening. We open the unit and now we are partners and we start with a new adventure together. We are associated to the two most important association in franchise in Italy, Fede Franchising and Confimprese. This is to prove you that we are absolutely well based in our country. And here, okay, sorry. And we are part of Food Empire Holdings. Food Empire Holdings is located in Singapore. They are our partners with 25% of shares of our company. And they work in more than 50 countries and in all of markets, in all of segments of food and beverage. So we got a great experience worldwide, particularly in Asia and in Russia. But we also got a very, very strong partner quoted in at Singapore Stock Exchange. Now, well, you can contact us to fix a meeting by mobile, by WhatsApp, by Zoom, by Skype. Here you can find the email. You can where you can contact us, franchising@101cafe.it, and I am open right now to reply to your questions. Okay, the question of logistics. Well, where do you come from? Okay. Well, India is particularly complicated, so I reply to this question by levels. Of course, when we are in European Union, this is quite easy. This is quite easy because distances are not so far. There are no documents, no particular documents for export. So the transit time and the lead time is not long. You can place an order. We usually have 2 days of 2 days of lead time to prepare the order, and depending by the country, but you usually get the goods in 1 week, depending by country, of course. Now it's not easy to understand what it will happen in details in UK. At present, of course, we have no customs and no documents. We are not sure yet about December when the Brexit will become effective. It seems, but not sure that nothing will change. But again, not sure. Anyway, I reply about India. India is is quite complicated because we can estimate 30 days of shipment by boat. So you have usually you move the goods by container. So you usually need to have a bigger stock on local base, a bigger logistics. You move orders less frequently, but with bigger quantities. So we need a little bit more of time to prepare the order. Of course, a little bit more of time to prepare documents for export. And you have more time for the transport. So this is a key. This is a key. The second key connected with logistics and also discussing about India is customs. Because, I need to check about the percentage, but I remind you have 20% of customs fees to import roasted coffee. So of course, when you have a shipment, you also have to consider that you usually pay customs fees due to the value of the goods, but also due to the number of operation. So if you move 50,000 of goods this month, 50,000 of goods next month, you pay a percentage of the value, but also a one-shot amount for the operation. So you pay the one-shot amount 2 times. If you move just one shipment with 100,000, you pay the percentage of 100,000 and one shot, one time for the customs clearance. I hope this is clear. Okay, thank you, thank you. Well, other questions? Okay, okay. Yes, the fitting could be also done locally. Again, this is when every time we have a situation where people are outside the European Union, most of all if they are very far and if they have heavy fees, well, expensive fees for customs clearance, we suggest to prepare the shop fitting locally. So, for example, in Morocco, our partner realized the shop fitting locally, also due to local regulations, because the government well, is not positive when you would like to import in Morocco something. Consider that as not necessary, because you can create equipments. You can, sorry, provide equipments and furnitures by a Moroccan provider, by a Moroccan supplier. So you don't need to import directly from Italy. While this is not the same, of course, for our coffee, because our coffee is something that you cannot find in Morocco. So we never had problems about it. But this is the same all over the world. For example, our partner in Singapore had no great problems in regulations for the fitting, but so we had the opportunity to provide the turkey from Italy, but they decided to do everything locally. In my opinion, it was a wise decision, because they told me, okay, in case we have any kind of problem and the provider is local and the supplier is local, we can come uh, quickly to him. We know that he is working aligned with local regulations about fire, about water, about everything, because he is a local company, so this is mandatory for him. While local government doesn't trust that a stranger company could be aligned with local regulations. So yes, you can shop fit the unit locally, but we can also do it by our side, because in fact our architects are working all over the world, so they can work aligned with your local regulation, no problem. Nothing more? Okay, okay. Well, in case you have any kind of question more, you can come back to us. Here I remind again the email address. You can contact to ask everything, and no problem. You will be in contact directly with me for your. Well, I hope this is good for you. And you can feel you can choose what is the best tool for us to communicate to have communication. And of course, when barriers will be open, I will be very pleased to meet you face to face, also here in our headquarters or in our stores. Oh, another one more. One question, yes. Yes. In Dubai. Mhm. If the business could be run in Dubai? No, we don't have a branch. We don't have a branch in Dubai yet. I added yet because yeah, no. We didn't open yet. We have a partner, an exclusive partner for GCC. We have a branch opened in Kuwait because our partner is Kuwaiti. We opened in December 2018. And our partner is developing our brand in GCC. Now we are running Qatar. We didn't open a branch yet for the curfew. You know, well, you know better than me what is the situation in GCC about lockdown and curfew. Our unit in Kuwait is temporarily closed, for example, and we cannot open a new one in Doha. Our partner in Kuwait, his role is master franchisee. He is master franchisee of GCC. Yes, yes. He is running at present Qatar and Saudi Arabia. And for my information, he is looking for a local partner in UA. So I will absolutely match you with him because he is working in GCC with partners for each country in GCC. So it would be my pleasure to connect you with our partner. Anyway, yes, just to be honest and transparent with you, as I told before, we cannot move an opening with you directly from the mother company. We cannot because we have an exclusive deal with the Kuwaiti guy. Yes. But I will take care about it. I am in contact. I am in touch with our partner more or less every day. So this is absolutely not a problem. I will connect with him by the end of the week, at least, at the latest on Monday, because he is also very quick in comeback to any kind of prospect. What is the net margin? What is the net margin is a good question, but the net margin is a component of three things basically, because you have purchasing a price, you have of course selling price, and selling price is based on the local market because if in the local market, this is the same also in Italy, we decided our positioning. So our positioning is decided by following our brand identity, but also following what is possible to do in the market for price competition and for what are prices. So margin is defined by purchasing price, selling price, and VAT rate. I know that in Kuwait, VAT rate is 0%. I think the same. I think the same for UA, but I'm not sure about it. Anyway, net margin for investment. Oh, sorry. But again, it depends by local place. It depends by local place because I can tell you what is the average capital needed for investment. This is not a mystery. At first, it depends by the kind of branch. So, what is the surface? What is the business model? If this is a store, if this is a coffee shop, what are equipments inside in case of coffee shop? So, and what is the surface? So, well, of course, I can come back to you with this reply, but it depends by your model. At second, I can also tell you what is what are figures from Italy for the turkey from Italy. But later, it depends also by the cost of shipment. It depends also by the cost of customs. It depends by what we provide, because again, when we move wood, we move something not so expensive, and customs fees are in percentage of the cost. So now I provide you shelves, wooden shelves, or I provide you a display for ice cream. One display for ice cream, 2 meters and 50, could be so expensive as a full equipment of good of wood shelves for to shop with one store. So it depends. It depends. We have more models, and this is connected with the kind of model. And most of all, if you do the investment locally, it depends what is the local cost. But I told you that the margin is up to 50%. Up to 50%. It means that based on the purchasing price and based on the selling price and based on the VAT rate, you define the margin. And of course, here I am talking about the margin on the product and not the margin of the business, because the margin of the business is connected to everything, to the shipment, to the customs, to the warehouse, to the rent, to everything. So this is something connected with local situation. What is the location? What is the kind of business? What is the cost for salaries? What is the cost for rent? And everything. This is a profit and loss. This is not a reply one shot. Do you give 60 days terms payment? Absolutely not. This is very, very easy to reply. Absolutely not. And this is quite common in food, because in food, everything you have, at first, everything you have has a shelf life. And we check our payment terms are usually, well, it could be 30% at order and 70 at ready, or 100% at ready. But goods don't leave Italy if they are not paid. Well, thanks everyone. Feel free to place any kind of question also by email, no problem. I will have no problem in replying to you. Thanks a lot again, and get in touch for the next webinar. It will be on 10th of July. Thanks again, and get in touch. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.